Stop for a moment and look at your body language right now. Are you bent over your computer or hunched over your phone? Are your arms folded and legs crossed? If so, you're communicating a lack of confidence and power to those around you. These movements and actions made by you which communicate a wealth of information about yourself are called non-verbals. Communication is very important since we communicate 75% of our waking hours and out of which 80% happens non-verbally. That is by sending and understanding non-verbal cues. Our non-verbal cues include the way we look, move, react. It helps the person whom we are communicating with understand whether or not we care, how well we are listening, and whether we are being truthful or not. When our non-verbals match up with the words we speak, it tends to increase trust and clarity. If they don't, they can generate tension, mistrust, and create confusion. To begin with, the human face is extremely expressive. When we speak, the others tend to notice the changes in our facial expressions and respond accordingly. This may include gaping, yawning, sneering, rolling our eyes, etc. Consider how your perceptions of people change solely on the basis of their body language. If you see a person slouching, you subconsciously think of him to be a lazy and inactive person. The distance between you and another person can be interpreted in a certain way. For example, standing side to side might show cooperation, while standing face to face might show competition. Gestures are woven into the fabric of our daily lives. On the receiving end, a lot of this happens subconsciously. While we may not feel the connection, we know instinctively that when a person is more passionate, he seems to be more expressive, more enthusiastic, and his hand actions are more animated. The general position of our hands can reveal a lot of information about ourselves. For example, Trump uses his handshakes to show his power. Instead of shaking hands vertically, he puts his other hand on top, and if someone tries to do the same thing to him, he puts his hand again on top, and this can get really weird at times. Since the visual sense is most dominant in people, eye contact is very important in non-verbal communication. We can communicate various emotions such as anger, hostility, attraction, interest, etc. through our eyes. It's not just about what we say, it's about how we say it. When we are speaking, the people tend to read our voice in addition to listening to our words. Think about how your tone of voice can indicate anger, sarcasm, interest, confidence, etc. Have you ever judged a person based solely on their clothing? While you might say you haven't, you probably have. If you've ever gone for a job interview, you know that you might have picked out one of the nicest outfits to create a good impression on your employer. Clothing is a very important aspect in creating a good first impression. For example, when you go to a doctor's lab and if you see him in a dirty lab coat, you will immediately think about changing your doctor. We assign certain expectations to certain occupations. While we expect our doctor to be neatly dressed, when we see a laborer or a painter in clean clothes, we might think that he or she hasn't done her work properly because they are engaged in an occupation which requires untidiness. Politicians use clothing to their advantage. When they want to impress us, they can dress in a nice suit or a dress, but if they want to make us feel that they themselves are also a part of the public, they can just be casually dressed like us, maybe in a jeans and a t-shirt. Lastly, to conclude, I just want to say that while we rely on the expense of language, we rely on language at the expense of the rest of our communication toolbox. So we should give equal importance to verbal as well as non-verbal communication, because non-verbal communication can help us develop an excellent personality and leave a lasting impression. Thank you.